All right, today we're working on lesson 5-3, using models to divide with two-digit divisors. A parking lot has 270 parking spaces. Each row has 18 parking spaces. How many rows are in this parking space? Solve this problem any way you choose. And we're not really going to use the grid too much on that. I'm using it to kind of organize my work. But if I had 18 across, but I don't know how wide, and I have a total of 270 parking spaces. 18 can be divided into, let's count here. I can divide it into 10. Let me just do this here. 18, I can divide it into 10 and 8. Oops. So I'm just kind of breaking my problem down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. So would you agree that 18 equals 10 plus 8? So I am going to take 18, I'm going to take 10 rows out and see how much I have there. So 10 times 10 would be 100. And 10 times 8 would be 80. So if I took 18, let me erase this over here. If I took 18 times 10 out, I'd have 180. So I'm going to take my 270, subtract 180. So I'm left with 90. So how can I get 90? I could say, how can I get 90? 10 times 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 times 5 is 50. I'm going to take 50 out. I got 40 left. And 8 times 5 is 40. So my answer is going to be 15. That's using a grid. That can be a little confusing. I like to kind of do it differently. I like to just draw a box like this. And I like to say I have 18. Altogether, I have 270. I'm going to say 18 times 10 is 180. And if I take that out, I have 90 left. So that's half of 180 is 90. So 18 times 5 is 90. So I know 18 times 15 is 270, or 270 divided by 18 is 15. That's another way to use the grid model. Let's go down here and checking your answer to see if it's reasonable. I have 270 divided by 18. If I bring this to the nearest 10 and I bring this to a compatible number, that makes it look reasonable to me. And don't worry if this looks a little wacky. We'll do a couple more and you'll get it. If you know that a garden is 360 feet, square feet, and you know one side is 20, how do you figure out the other side? So what you're doing here is you are trying to find out the unknown measurement, and you know that it's going to be a double-digit measurement because you know that 360 divided by 20, or 20 goes into 360. It's going to go in 20, it's going to go in, the answer is going to have a 10 and a ones place. 20 goes into 36 one time. And 20 goes into 160 8 times. Using the grid model, you can find your total, which is 360, and start start like kind of taking, chunking it away. So we always usually start with 10s and 5s. So 20 times 10 is 200. So we took the 200 out. And what do we have left? We have 160 left. So how are we going to get 160 using a 20? So you're thinking to yourself, 20 times what will equal 160? And the answer is 8. So that's using our grid model. Again, I know it's a tricky one. Use the model to find the quotient 408 divided by 12. Find the value of x. So in the grid model here, they've used 408 is the total. They decided to take out, because they already know it's 12. I don't know why they did it like this. I would do this a little differently. I would have done 12 times 10. I would have done 408. 12 times 10 is 120. Take that out. 12 times 10 is 120. Take that out. 12 times 10 is 120. Take that out. And then I would do 12 times 4 is 48. So now I'm finished. So then I would add these guys together, 10, 20, 30. And the 4 over here, 34. So 408 divided by 12 equals 34. And you can always check your work using multiplication. And it checks out. We'll do a couple more on the next page. Write the missing numbers to find 154 divided by 11. So what they're going to show you some numbers, and you're going to try to figure out what is missing. So you're kind of working backwards on this. It's a little easier than the two examples that you saw. So if you look at number 1, 154 times 11, what did they do to get 110? 11 times what equals 110? It's 11 times 10, so that's 110. And then 11 times what equals 44? 11 times 4. So 110 plus 4 is 14. Let's get down here. Write a multiplication equation and a division equation that represents the model shown below, then solve. So 672 divided by 32 is a division problem. So what does that equal? How many tens can we get out of here? So let's do 32 times 10 is 320. We'll subtract that. And we can do it again. 32 times 10 is 320. So we have 2 tens and how many ones? 32 goes into 32 one time, so it's 21. And the multiplication problem would be 32 times 21. Use the model to find 156 divided by 12. Let's see what they did. They said, here's the 156 right here. They subtracted out 120. 12 times what equals 120? 12 times 10, so 110. And when they subtracted, they were left with 36. That's why they put that over here. And 12 times what equals 36? It's 3. So 110 plus 3 is 13. And using the grid or draw a picture to do 682 divided by 22. I really don't care how you do this. If you're going to use the grid model, 682, and you know 22 goes over here. If you do 22 times 10, you'll have 220. So you can say that's 10 plus. And it looks like you can do it again. 220. It's another 10. Then it's another 10. And then it's a 1. So that one's going to be 31. If you do it old school, this is actually in the next lesson, but if you want to just use the algorithm, totally fine with that. 22 doesn't go into 6. It goes into 68 2 times. 22, or 3 times, sorry. 22 times 3 is 66. Remainder's 2. Bring down the 2. 22 goes into 22 1. So that's just using the algorithm. For 143 divided by 11, if we use the grid, we do, oops, that's pretty spastic looking grid. 100, hang on, 143 divided by 11. So I have 143, 11. So 11 times 10 would be 110. And 11 goes into 33 3 times. So 10 plus 3 is 13. If you do it the algorithm, you want to get a jump on that. Some of you already know how to do this, so totally fine. 11 doesn't go into 1. 11 goes into 14 one time. 11 goes into 33 3 times. So we could do the regular algorithm on that too. When you get down to your independent practice, you can solve these any way you want. It's not critical that you won't have one of these grids on the test. I won't put one on there for you. But some of you do understand it. It's just another way to show your work and how you're solving it. So when you get to number 7, if you wanted to, you can do in your notebook. If you want to break it down into multiplication, some kids like to do that. So we can see this one is definitely going to be a 1-digit answer because 38 times 10 would be 380. So you're going to look for a 1-digit answer there. Well, have fun.